Just like we've been saying, please take COVID seriously. I can't say it enough. Enough people have died. We don't need any more deaths. Research like crazy. Talk to your doctor, your doctors, medical professionals you trust based on your unique medical history, your current medical condition, and you and your doctor make a very important decision for your own safety. Take it seriously. You also have a right to medical privacy. Doctor-patient confidentiality is also important, and it absolutely makes sense for many Americans to get vaccinated. I believe in science. I believe in the science of vaccination.
Okay, so look, that's good. You know, I guess it's not great. It's like, I believe it does make sense for many Americans to get vaccinated. No, you cowardly idiot. You know that it makes sense for virtually everyone who can be vaccinated to be vaccinated. And sure, talking to your doctor and asking questions is a good idea. People should do it more about more things that are going on in their life. That said, you do not need to have a long sit-down conversation with your GP to find out if you should get vaccinated. You almost certainly should. You should have 6 months ago. And so that bothers me. But that said, he does tell you to get vaccinated, or he won't tell you. He says it's probably a good idea for many of you. That follows yesterday on Fox and Friends with Ducey pretty strongly implying that people should. So that's good. But I do want to add even more context. And as John Wolf pointed out on Twitter, before that clip, Hannity criticized the university for mandating vaccines. And after that clip, Hannity brought on a young woman who lost feeling in her legs for a month back in 2019 after getting a different type of vaccine, which, absent context, might be fine. There are consequences to all sorts of medicine, that's fine. But if you're saying I'm doing the right thing, then going out there and using your limited time to spotlight probably incredibly rare consequences of other vaccines. During the segment where you're encouraging vaccines, I get to point out that it seems as if you're trying to say something. Whether you're explicitly saying it or not, and I doubt you will because you don't want to be sued, you certainly seem to be hinting at something there. Your thoughts, David?
I agree, and it seems like, I think people like Sean Hannity and the rest, if they were to come out and say everybody should get a vaccine, except for people with certain pre-existing conditions or immunosuppressant or whatever it is, then that would be doing a full 180, and that would be going against their theme for the last several months that there's this evil Biden administration which is going to force you to get vaccines, which is going to go door to door, and you're going to require a vaccine passport, and if you're going to do anything, you have to be vaccinated. The government's going to come to your door and force you to get the Fauci jab. That has been their main talking point. So what they're doing is they're now on this sort of very thin reed where they're saying, well, yeah, maybe talk to a doctor because if you're pregnant or if you have cancer, if you have an immunosuppression issue, maybe a vaccine. Of course, yes, that has been the statement from the CDC, from everybody all along. Based on your medical condition, you make an evaluation. 99% of the public should get the vaccine. There are, of course, going to be some people who shouldn't for whatever reason, and there are different safety protocols for them. But for Fox News to now retreat and say, oh, no, we're not going to step back and say the government's not telling you to do something. They're still telling you to get the vaccine. They're still coming door to door. Universities are still forcing students to do this. That protects what they've said in the past. So they're not doing a full 180. And yet they can also say, but yes, most people should get the vaccine, and therefore we, Fox News, are not going to be responsible for the skepticism, the misplaced skepticism that is out there that is causing this pandemic to keep going. It is a remarkable trick that they're trying to pull, and it seems to me mind-boggling that they're going to get away with this, but that's how Fox News operates.
Yeah, and so far they have, and yeah, it really does feel like a covering your ass moment. But that said, while I know that that's what it is, if Sean Hannity's thing last night leads to just even a few conservatives not dying that would have otherwise, that's a good thing. I will give him credit for that.
Yes.
But I'm not stupid, and he hasn't retracted anything that he's said or done in his show. So at the same time that I'm giving him credit, I will take issue with the fact that less than a week ago he had on Laura Trump to say that COVID had been about controlling people, quote, from day one. Sean Hannity is in spotlight right now. The January 6th Commission apparently has requested that he respond to questions about his communications with former President Donald Trump and his staff in the days surrounding the January 6th riot. Now, we already knew a few weeks back that he had sent text messages to the team. We're gonna go back over a few of those, but there's new admissions as well, new communications that he had sent. We know that Back on December 31st of 2020, he apparently wrote to Mark Meadows, "We can't lose the entire White House counsel's office. I do not see January 6th happening the way he is being told. After the 6th, he should announce he will lead the nationwide effort to reform voting integrity. Go to Florida and watch Joe mess up daily. Stay engaged. When he speaks, people will listen." So that's 1 week before January 6th. Sean Hannity was contacting Mark Meadows, former chief of staff, well, at that point, the chief of staff, and saying, "Don't do this. You have a crazy idea of what's gonna happen on January 6th. And there, I think he means it's not gonna turn out politically how he thinks. It's not gonna result in him being president. So similar to what Lindsey Graham had been saying that we've already reviewed, just make this about voting reform. Just please don't overthrow democracy. That's crazy. On the 31st, we showed you him contacting the chief of staff being like, "Dude, they're not gonna take over the country on January 6th. Stop this, go to Florida, make speeches or whatever, just stop it." On the 5th, he says, "I'm very worried about the next 48 hours. I believe that was to Meadows. So the week before, the night before, it's not gonna work. I'm worried about what they're doing. What does he say that night on his show publicly? So all that is private. Now publicly, here is a bit of his program from that night.
Tomorrow, Senator Ted Cruz and about a dozen other Republicans, they are promising to vote against certification. They're demanding audits of the 2020 elections. Texas Senator Ted Cruz joins us. Senator, thank you for being with us. Big day tomorrow. Big crowds apparently showed up to the point where the West Wing could hear the music and the chanting of the people that were there already. And this all kicks off in the morning tomorrow.
And it did, in fact, kick off in the morning. Now, what you'll see if you go watch that full show is he talked about the crowds and he talked about the effort to decertify the vote. Nowhere did he say Ted Cruz and a bunch are gonna try to decertify the vote and it's not gonna go the way they think. That's my actual position. He didn't say that. And he didn't say, "Hey, big crowds assembled and I'm like really worried about what's gonna happen with those crowds." So all of his actual positions, which might be a little bit less psychotic for his character on TV, he can't actually say any of that. And so he was rah-rahing both efforts the night before January 6th.
It's if nothing else people can find from this whole process from January 6th is that you can determine what the actual mindset is of many conservatives, from pundits to politicians, from their true mindset versus what they're willing to do once the strong man comes in and says, "No, you're doing it my way." That's why they follow Trump to the ends of the earth, because he's the one that's gonna yank their chain and be like, "Come this way." And they have no other choice but to do that, because the few that don't, they're kicked out of the party. They're rhinos. Now you're Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. Like you're those, you're off in exile now from the party. And that is more important than anything else. You can have your own points of view and your principles that you think you have are principles, which is like no taxes for me. You can have that stuff, but if you cross anything else, if you try to have some kind of a limit, a bottom to your barrel, oh, you're out of this party. There's no bottom to this barrel.